The Raptors fall just short of the Crypto.com arena against the Lakers and lose 132 to 131. Perhaps some schemes out the gate and perhaps some poor officiating were largely at play for this narrow loss. Let's break it down in tonight's post-game show. All right, Raptors take the L here, unfortunately, but I've been saying on this channel, I've been saying in all the content here that the losses, the wins, whatever it is, yeah, winning's great. It sucks to lose this one, especially one that was certainly winnable in the position that we were in, but the Raptors played well. They really did play well. Took them a little bit to get going, to figure out the defensive schemes, but once they did, I know they gave up 132 points. You know, the fact that the Lakers shot like almost 40 free throws doesn't help that at all, but the Raptors' offense continues to flow. We miss Poeltle today big time as Anthony Davis puts on an outrageous performance. The Lakers get 36 free throws to our 13, and that's enough for them to get over the line and win this game. Reminder, everybody, to smash that like button if you enjoyed what you see from today's content, and if you want to see Raptors content like this for every Raptors game, make sure you are subscribed to this channel as well, joining the Amateur Hour Army. So AD goes nuts today. He had a 16-point first quarter and finishes with 41 points. But where the Raptors really struggled out the gate, we could not believe that this team went with Thaddeus Young from the start. Poeltle out for a couple weeks at least. He'll be reevaluated in a couple of weeks. And we are wondering what the situation is going to be at the center for the Raptors. I thought that they'd just slide Barnes down to the 5, start Gary Trent Jr., but they went with Thaddeus Young. Could not believe Darko went with that decision. Could not believe it. Awful, to be honest, thinking about it at the time. And what was even more awful is not only did they put Thad at the 5 from the start, they put Thad on AD. And I was thinking, okay, you have Thad on AD. I don't like this, but at least you just have Thad on AD. You'll double off of other guys, and you're just going to double AD in the post, make him beat you with his passing. Didn't even do that. They started Thad, and they threw him to the wolves. They made Thad play single coverage against Anthony Davis pretty much the entire first quarter. They made Thad play single coverage in AD pick and rolls, and he just got absolutely torched out the gate. And it was looking like a really poor decision on Darko Rajakovic's part. And granted, the scheme out the gate put the Raptors in a bit of a hole. They climbed out quickly, but these things matter, especially when you lose a game by 1 point. But Thaddeus Young, honestly, put together a really good performance here. 10 points for Thaddeus Young, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and a block, 0 turnovers, 5 of 9 from the field. Other than that early stretch when he was thrown to the wolves defensively, he was great. The Raptors started to double AD a lot more. They didn't leave Thaddeus Young in like isolation to Anthony Davis. They started to work on that scheme a lot more, and it worked. Like AD barely did anything in the second and third quarter. Now he goes crazy in the fourth quarter, ends with 41 points. Yes, I get it, but defensively, the schemes really started to come together for the Raptors in the second and third quarter. They won the second quarter 29-23, ended up going into the half with a lead. In the third quarter, they get themselves out to a 70-62 advantage. But the bench really did struggle for the Raptors today. The Lakers bench owned that matchup, especially in the third quarter, and reversed that 8-point deficit quickly. They went on like a 22-7, like 22-10 run to reverse the game. And it set up a pretty tight fourth quarter where Emmanuel quickly fouled out, but it just... I don't like complaining about the refs, but in this case, it just felt like every little thing, like the 50-50 stuff, is just going the Lakers' way. If there's contact as they're going up, they're going to get that call. If the Raptors were going up, they weren't getting that call. And I understand that, okay, you know, we're fouling late because we're down, we're trying to get the ball back, but the Lakers shoot 23 free throws in the fourth quarter alone, 36 in the game. Take away like the late free throws. Take away 8 of those free throws. The Lakers still shoot 15 free throws in the fourth quarter. Raptors get 2. And every time they're going up, there's contact there. You've got Barrett fighting through contact, Barnes fighting through contact, Siakam fighting through contact. No whistle. All these guys getting themselves to the rim, getting the contact and just not getting that call. And like I said, these little things come into play. Emmanuel quickly fouled out on a flagrant, which it was okay. He's in a basketball motion, Euro stepping, catches Cam Reddish with the elbow. It's tough. That's his foul out. I get why they called a foul. They reviewed it and called a flagrant. And they explained it, in a way that would make it not a foul, or make it not a flagrant, but that just gives the Lakers 2 free throws on the flagrant and the ball. Reddish misses one of the free throws, but he makes one of them. Raptors lose by 1 point off of something that probably should not have been a flagrant. But alas, as I said earlier, practicing what I preach here, I'm not as concerned about the win-loss stuff. Like, it sucks. I wanted to win this game. I love beating the Lakers at the Crypto.com arena, but they played well. Quickly looks amazing. RJ Barrett looks outstanding. Like, we have so many weapons on this team now, particularly like the top end of this roster with Siakam, with Barnes, with Barrett, with Quickly, that even with an injury, like, the good matchups have to go against Siakam and Barnes, and Barrett has just been feasting on weak matchups the last 2 games. We had a tough stretch in the second quarter where Barrett just completely bailed us out, attacking the Austin Reeves matchup. Barrett goes 10 of 13, 1 of 3 from 3, 23 points, 10 rebounds, somehow only gets 3 free throws out of it. Like, the Raptors, like Siakam, 17 shots, 10 of 17, 3 free throws. Barnes takes 20 shots, takes 13 twos, only 2 free throws. Like, the Raptors were not getting the whistle. But Barrett was impressive, as was Quickly. Quickly goes 21 points, 8 of 14, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Barnes gets heavy minutes, plays the entire fourth quarter, and really pulled us back into the game. He gets 26 points in the end on 11 of 20 shooting, with 3 of 7 shooting from 3. And Siakam took a while to grow into this game, but he went nuclear in the fourth quarter. A couple of corner threes, a bunch of tough buckets to keep the Raptors in this game. 25 points for Pascal, 10 of 17 shooting. Like, this was a game where people were giving him shit for how bad he was playing. And yet he goes 25, 4, and 3, and a block, 3 of 5 shooting from 3, 10 of 17 from the field. Thaddeus Young, as I mentioned earlier, solid in this game here. Bit of an issue for the Raptors. They did not really get the help off the bench enough. Porter didn't do much. Boucher back down to earth after his recent stretch of good performances. Schroeder plays pretty well off the bench once again. Not a ton of opportunities forthcoming, but does his job out there. 10 points, 6 assists. Gary Trent took a while, but really did grow into this game in the end. He ends with the 4 threes and 14 points on 5 of 10 shooting. In the end, this game really turned into a shootout. The Lakers just get over the line. They got the free throws. They got the key calls, the key makes. And despite the Raptors going 56% from the field, 49% from 3, the Lakers going 54% from the field, 44% from 3, with the addition of those free throws, as I said, end up getting over the line. You could question the Raptors, though. They only go 8 of 13, 62% on the free throw opportunities that they were afforded. So, Lakers, whatever. They get the calls. AD late in the game had the big buckets. The Raptors just did not have an answer. This is what life without Jakob is going to be. You know, the roster is thin. It's very thin. And when we saw that Poeltle goes down, we saw when Poeltle went down, we wondered, like, what do we do here? And the fact that Thaddeus Young, I get he played fine at this age, has to start games. That's our answer. It showcases where the Raptors are at with their depth. So I'm kind of hoping maybe if there's a G League guy they can grab on a 10-day contract, they'll probably go with Thad tomorrow night as well because he did fine today. But that Zubac matchup is going to be tough too. They're going to get Thad up in pick and rolls, the James Harden pick and rolls. So I don't know if this is the solution going forward while Yak is out, but we're clearly seeing the lack of presence here of Jakob Poeltle as far as rim protection is concerned. And Jakob Poeltle is a player I very strongly feel like has been overly criticized this season, and I think a lot of fans are going to start to see why in this stretch of games coming up. Things won't get easier. Tomorrow you have second night of back-to-back against the Clippers, who will, if I'm not mistaken, be completely rested for this one. Yeah, they played yesterday. They played Monday, so they'll have a day off compared to the Raptors. But then you have a winnable game against the Jazz. Hopefully they can split these two and come out of the road trip with a 3-3 record. But then you go home and have the Celtics and Heat. This is a tough string of games here for the Raptors and a really tough one to face without the rim protector, Jakob Poeltle. We saw how bad this team looked on defense last year without Poeltle, how much it changed after the trade happened. And we've seen how bad the defense has been this season, even with Poeltle. So even worse without him. Let's see how the Raptors can mitigate the storm. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the offense is working. We're seeing really good performances. RJ Barrett is absolutely blowing me away and blowing the defense away. Just taking it to the cup is so good right now at putting pressure on the rim. It is what it is. A good performance. I feel like we've had games we've won where I've been more upset than this. A good performance. We move. Let's try and bounce back as much as we can tomorrow. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Smash that like button if you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well for more Raptors content like this. For every Raptors game, we'll be back tomorrow for the Clippers one. And we'll see you soon.